Hello again everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the moon conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have the moon conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart, there may be a very intense need, which is the moon, for career related matters and endeavors, which is the midheaven. If the midheaven is in Aquarius, as an example, those career endeavors, the career related matters may be tied in humanitarianism, altruistic fields. It could be doing something with astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, innovation, aviation, or meteorology as some examples. Let's say if the midheaven is in Libra, it may be doing something with art or the law, fashion design, interior decoration, arbitration, negotiation, maybe even work with scales. I mean, scales it is connected with the zodiac sign Libra. But another thing about the moon conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart, it could be also another way it may manifest, could be where you have the emotions and the sensitivity, which is the moon, may be very difficult to suppress, which is the midheaven. The midheaven can reflect, the energy that is very difficult to hide from others. So, if you're, going back to, let's go to Libra as an example, and it could be where person may be very sensitive regarding matters pertaining to legalities, justice, the law, matters with art, fairness, having balance in matters, refinement. And this is where you could have, if you have this aspect in a natal chart, it can be very difficult to hide the emotions and the sensitivity. Now, another thing about this aspect in the natal chart is that the person may be very emotional, which is the moon, in activities that are associated with one's responsibilities, which is the midheaven. Now, let's say if the midheaven is in Sagittarius, as an example, those responsibilities may include matters pertaining to publishing, advertising. It could be commercial work, something with foreign travel. It may be doing something, maybe just a simple responsibility of expanding horizons, higher education, things that are pertaining to Sagittarius. As some examples, if the midheaven is in Scorpio as another example, those responsibilities may be tied in with support or shared resources. It could be something with insurance or taxes or wills as another example. Also, too, if you have the moon conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart, another way it may be expressed is that laborious work, which is the midheaven, may be strongly interwound, strongly connected with the emotional needs, which is the moon. Now, if the moon is in Gemini, as an example, that laborious work may be connected with manual dexterity, such as working on auto refrigeration mechanics. It could be just simply manifold variety of activities. If the let's say if the midheaven is in the zodiac sign Cancer, it might be tied in with home, introverted related, type of activities, cooking, culinary, restaurant work, as some other examples. Now, another thing too is that the mother in the family, which is the moon, may play an integral role in your social status and stature in life, which is the midheaven. Excuse me, people. But anyway, let's say if the moon is in Pisces, the mother And at least one family member may actually be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be, those that are very compassionate, forgiving, sacrificing, altruistic, passive, idealistic, sensitive, emotional, as some examples. And another thing, too, if you have this aspect in the natal chart, you may strongly feel, which is the moon, like attaining notoriety and recognition. I would say overall this could be a good aspect for attaining notoriety and recognition, because the midheaven is connected with that, and the moon has a connection with the public. Now, the thing about this is, let's say if the midheaven is in Capricorn as an example, notoriety and recognition may be attained through some government or political field. It may be, associated with accounting, dentistry, architecture, information technology, masonry, as some examples. And another thing about this aspect is that you may be someone that has that reputation, which is the midheaven, for being, very nurturing, caring, sympathetic, emotional, and sensitive, which is the moon. If the moon is in Gemini, going back to Gemini as an example, there may be, the person may like to nurture others through, intellectual, mental stimulation, through conversation, maybe helping others using manual dexterity, again, such as, helping somebody, work on their vehicle or, refrigerator, using the dexterity in order to do so. And another thing too is how the moon conjunct the midheaven may manifest in a natal chart. It could be that moon-related people may be very prominent in the success, which is the midheaven, one may attain. When I say moon-related people, I'm talking about, of course, home, family members, people you're close to home with. It could be those in a moon-related profession. It could be people that are involved in laundry work, plumbing, cooking, culinary work, real estate. And the thing is, let's say if you have the midheaven in Taurus, now the success one may attain may be done in a very methodical, plodding, slow manner. It may be doing something Taurus related, which can include art, architecture, geology, carpet laying, working in banking, finance, working as a stockbroker or pawnbroker, as some examples. Now, another thing too is that the unconscious side, which is the moon, may be hard to suppress, which is the midheaven. Now, if you have your, let's say if the moon is in Virgo, that unconscious side may be very analytical, punctilious with details, can be pedantic too, verbose, helpful, and service oriented. Now, another thing is that you may be very protective, which is the moon, of your business, which is the midheaven. Now, say, the midheaven is in Leo, it may have some business connected with entertainment or acting, creativity. It may be, something with, circus performing or product demonstration, as some examples are something with cardiology. Now, another thing about the moon conjunct the midheaven in a natal chart is that you may emphasize being responsive, which is the moon, to the dominant parent, older people, and authority figures, which is the midheaven. Now, let's say if you have the midheaven in Aries, those people may actually be Aries sun, moon, or ascendant persons, or embody the traits of the sign. It could be people that are aggressive, assertive, forceful, courageous, enterprising, pioneering, but may be easily provoked and impatient as well. Now, also too, the livelihood, which is the midheaven, may be connected with something moon related, whether it could be cooking, real estate, laundry work, plumbing, or just being something with the public in general. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.